Confidence. Confidence, bro. You gotta fucking have it. Without it, you will live a terrible life, and you know it.
I started it in 2018. Honestly, it started as just a simple dropshipping store. I didn't have no plans to make it something long term. I was just desperate for a change to make money.
Samuel and Ruben Onuha are two well-known influencers and entrepreneurs from the Netherlands, famous for showing off their rich, jet-set party lifestyle on social media. The brothers have hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and regularly pull huge views on videos flaunting their credit cards, designer clothes, travels, parties, and glimpses into their business ventures. But now, all of that seems to have come crashing down. The two were recently arrested in Dubai, a country known for its strict laws and harsh punishments. And now, the Onuha brothers are facing the possibility of spending decades behind bars. Welcome to the channel. Make sure to like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get into it.
I started it in 2018. Honestly, it started as just a simple dropshipping store. I didn't have no plans to make it something long term. I was just desperate for a change to make money.
How much are y'all bringing in every day with this brand Icon?
So let's do the last 30 days. We did, I think, around 3 million, because this is one of the stores. We also have a UK store and a US store. So we now do around 3 million every month. The numbers don't lie, guys.
These guys started out doing drop shipping back in 2018 and quickly leveled up by launching their own fashion brand, Icon, which they describe as luxury streetwear. Reports say the brand pulls in around $30 million a year. It's more than just streetwear. Think athleisure with a high-end twist. If you've ever scrolled through Instagram, you've probably seen ads from brands like this, backed by massive social media followings. And with a loyal fan base, they've clearly found a way to turn followers into serious cash. We've seen it before. Influencers like Caprice making over 200 grand in a single day from one clothing drop.
18-year-old kid is making hundreds of thousands of dollars a day just from selling clothes online. All that couple months of work starting to pay off right now.
Right now is where it starts paying off. As you see right here, we're up at 9K in sales, about to be.
They just launched a minute ago, and they're up to almost $10,000 in sales.
Taking a page out of the Dan Bilzerian and Andrew Tate playbook, the Onuha brothers made it a point to flex every dollar they earned, showing off parties on mega yachts, five-figure shopping sprees, luxury cars, and even claiming to make $1 million in a single day. All of it fuels more hype, which brings in more sales for their brand, Icon. It's a familiar formula: flash your wealth, build status, and make people want whatever you're selling. Andrew Tate mastered that approach, using his fame and controversy to promote his real-world membership, which helped him stack up millions.
You like the color?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had mixed reviews on the color. Some people said they like it, some people said they don't like it, and I said, well, what color is your guy? Oh, fuck off then.
But the Onuha brothers didn't stop at just launching Icon. They also built other businesses, including an e-commerce agency that's reportedly been a huge success, with a valuation hitting $100 million.
I also have, for example, an agency that is like really spitting out cash, because we're one of the biggest in the e-com scene.
And of course, following the Andrew Tate playbook, they also sell courses and memberships to bring in even more income.
We always guarantee that you go to at least 100,000 in revenue, at least.
If all of their businesses were truly legit, then flexing online wouldn't be a big deal. But that's a big if, especially after Baller Blockers announced on Instagram that the Onuha brothers are now at the center of a massive drug scandal spanning multiple countries, and they're facing decades in prison. They were arrested in Dubai on February 10th, just days after attending a nightclub and hosting an after-party at their Palm Jumeirah villa on February 19th. But the real twist is why the police showed up in the first place. Allegedly, the brothers and their crew failed to pay escorts they had booked for the party, which led those escorts to file a police report. And that's what set everything in motion. And here's where things get wild. That report triggered undercover agents to raid the villa, arresting the brothers along with their chef, maid, and even an assistant who helped with flights and logistics for the escorts. Some of their other friends reportedly fled the country. According to Baller Blockers, the Colombian escorts involved were known for smuggling drugs between Amsterdam and Dubai. things are looking bad for the brothers because large amounts of drugs were found in the villa, including MDMA, ketamine, and possibly cocaine. They're now facing serious charges like drug possession, trafficking, and distribution, with more details expected to be revealed when they appear in court later this month.
We have a Baller Busters exclusive news report involving brothers Samuel and Ruben Onuha from Icon e-commerce brand, a men's fashion brand out of the Netherlands. These brothers, who have flexed their lavish lifestyle, Rolls Royces, private jets, and tons of money and girls, were just arrested in Dubai at their home. These brothers, who flexed their wealth online, were arrested based off of tips by escorts who were left unpaid. These escorts attended a party at their home in February of this year. When they weren't paid for services rendered, what they did was tip off the police. Brothers were arrested, but because they are foreign nationals, they may get off the hook for the death penalty, but they are still facing decades in prison.
Because of all this, even more is starting to come out about the brothers. According to the court in Dubai, they're said to have ties to the infamous gang led by Ridwan Taghi, one of the most wanted criminals in the Netherlands. Taghi is suspected of being involved in multiple murders, organized crime, drug trafficking, and more. In February 2024, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Court documents in Dubai say that local police were tipped off about suspicious activity surrounding the brothers, who have allegedly been linked to the criminal underworld and are believed to maintain close connections with members of the Taghi gang. But their exact role in that network hasn't been made fully clear yet. Authorities in Dubai are now working closely with Dutch investigators to expand the case and expose the wider criminal network the brothers were part of. And on top of all that, it turns out Amir and Uras also owe unpaid income and corporate taxes to the Dutch government.
Like that. This is the reason why you need to have money, because then you can travel the world, you can go to places, you can meet new people, make new connections, do business with people together. And that's what it's all about. As long as you always have your purpose on number one and you make sacrifices, then life is endless, bro. You can achieve everything what you want.
It's also been revealed that most of their money doesn't come from e-commerce, but from selling online courses. So yeah, things aren't looking good for them. But we'll likely find out more once their trial begins. The wildest part? If all this is true, it's crazy that they chose to broadcast their luxury lifestyle all over social media, just for clout and attention. It's the same thing Hush Puppy and Omi and a Hellcat did. They were doing shady stuff behind the scenes, but still chose to show off online. And that's exactly what got them caught.
MSRP is over $200,000 on this one. They started like 164 MSRP. With this one, is specced out cleanly. I just couldn't find it in white. This was the first one in the East Coast. I had it first before you take off. Before you offset.
Fancy high-end cars and candid videos. His channel has 500,000 subscribers and his videos have been viewed 35 million times. But those pricey cars aren't sitting in his driveway anymore.
Wednesday, November 20th, and the appearance of great wealth collapsed, say neighbors, when FBI agents, seen here in cell phone pictures, hit the place in an early morning raid, hauling the cars away.
We have to have a day in court now. So finally, I get to not be depressed, not be stressed out anymore.
Instead of just making their money, laying low, and keeping a low profile, they chose to show off. And in the end, that's what got them all arrested. From the quiet corners of a Dutch village to the glittering skyline of Dubai, from grassroots hustle to global fashion authority. This is the story of Samuel Onuha. At just 26, he's not only reshaping what menswear means in the modern world, but inspiring a new generation of dreamers to bet on themselves.
You know what the difference is? If you every time you do something, you just push the bar a little bit further and want to achieve like special experiences, think outside of that motherfucking box. All you people often stay stuck in your comfort zone, think inside the same 4 boxes. No, we do things that are different because also in our life and executing, we also think in a different type of way.
Welcome to the rise of a global fashion visionary. Born on July 26, 1998, in a modest village nestled within the Netherlands, Samuel Uchenna Johan Onuha carried within him the vibrant pulse of 2 continents, with Nigerian and Dutch roots. His early life was a colorful blend of rich traditions, strong family ties, and economic hardship. Raised primarily by his mother, Carmen, a woman of grit and grace, Samuel's childhood wasn't easy, but what he lacked in resources, he made up for in curiosity. Where others saw barriers, he saw inspiration. Whether it was dissecting how sneakers were made or daydreaming about streetwear that could redefine masculinity, Samuel always had a builder's mindset. Traditional education never suited Samuel. The rigid structure of high school often felt like a cage for his creativity. At 18, in a move that alarmed some and inspired others, he made the bold decision to walk away from school and dive headfirst into the uncharted waters of e-commerce.
Confidence. Confidence, bro. You gotta fucking have it. Without it, you will live a terrible life, and you know it.
I started it in 2018. Honestly, it started as just a simple dropshipping store. I didn't have no plans to make it something long term. I was just desperate for a change to make money.
The road wasn't smooth. His first venture stumbled. But failure for Samuel was never the end. It was research. In 2018, after observing a massive gap in the menswear market, specifically for athletic fit trousers, Samuel saw his opening. Icon Amsterdam was born, not with fanfare, but with fire in his belly. While big brands focused on mass appeal, Samuel doubled down on quality, fit, and boldness. Icon Amsterdam wasn't just about clothes. It was about confidence. Within a few years, the brand had shipped over 100,000 pairs of trousers globally and built a cult-like following. Unlike many fashion founders who stayed behind the scenes, Samuel leaned into the spotlight. His Instagram quickly ballooned to over 600,000 followers. But it wasn't just glamour. He shared the grind. Through daily posts, raw transparency, and actionable advice, Samuel became more than a fashion mogul. He became a digital mentor for hustlers around the world. Giving back was never an afterthought. Samuel launched a 90-day mentorship program, an intensive designed to equip young entrepreneurs with the tools, mindset, and accountability to execute their vision. His approach wasn't about shortcuts, it was about shifting beliefs. For many, it was the first time someone had told them, yes, you can. Today, Samuel splits his time between Amsterdam and Dubai. While Amsterdam keeps him grounded in his roots, Dubai fuels his fire. The city's fast-paced, opportunity-rich environment has become the launchpad for his next ventures. In Dubai, Samuel isn't just selling pants. He's building an empire. Success doesn't come without shadows. In early 2025, media reports surfaced alleging Samuel's involvement in legal issues in Dubai. Speculation spread fast, but facts were slow. Samuel's response was clear: transparency, cooperation, and focus. While details remain under wraps, his supporters stand by him, pointing to a proven track record of integrity and resilience. Today, Samuel Onuha is worth an estimated $1 to $70 million, a range that reflects both the mystery and magnitude of his growing empire. But he's not chasing numbers. He's chasing legacy. Plans are underway to launch new lines: sustainable fashion, women's collections, and even digital wearables for the metaverse. He's eyeing expansion into Africa, Asia, and Latin America, not just to sell, but to collaborate with local creators and empower them.
First of all, success leads to comfort. Comfort leads to failure. I was drifting. If you've read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, he explains that most people are drifters.
Samuel's journey offers more than inspiration. It offers a blueprint. Here are 5 lessons from his playbook. Start before you're ready. Bet on yourself when no one else will. Use failure as fuel. Build a brand, not just a business. Turn your story into your strategy. He didn't just build a brand, he became one. Samuel doesn't just sell products. He sells possibility. Through the lens of fashion, he's built something bigger, a movement, a global community of creatives, dreamers, and builders who see themselves in his story. In Lagos, his pieces are worn as statements of hustle. In Berlin, they represent defiance of corporate monotony. In Seoul, they're stitched into a streetwear subculture redefining masculinity. It's not just about looking good, it's about feeling seen, feeling capable, feeling ready to conquer your world. Behind the polished social media presence and million-dollar launches is a man who still battles self-doubt. A man who knows what it's like to question everything, but refuses to stop showing up. He's not a myth, he's human. And it's that humanity, raw, imperfect, relentless, that makes his story so powerful. Of course, success attracts scrutiny. Some critics have questioned the rapid growth of Icon Amsterdam. Others have labeled his mentorship as overly commercial. And then came the Dubai legal case, a media storm of speculation and mixed narratives. But through it all, Samuel has chosen transparency over defensiveness. In a world that thrives on tearing down its heroes, he continues to lead with presence, not perfection. For Gen Z and beyond, Samuel isn't just a fashion icon. Every post he makes, every product he ships, every mentee he mentors is a ripple that reaches further than even he may realize. As a son of the diaspora, Samuel carries more than his own dream. He represents a new wave of African creators who aren't asking for seats at the table. They're building their own. He's proof that luxury can come from Lagos, that streetwear can have roots in resilience. He's exploring AR-enhanced fashion experiences, sustainable materials sourced from West Africa, and a content studio aimed at documenting the journeys of other underrepresented entrepreneurs. Icon Amsterdam may be just the beginning. His long-term goal? To create the Onuha Group, a multi-brand, global creative conglomerate dedicated to innovation, impact, and inclusion. This isn't just the story of a boy who made it big. This is the story of how one visionary turned setbacks into stepping stones and left a trail wide enough for others to follow. His name is Samuel Onuha, and the world hasn't seen the half of him yet. It started as just a rumor, mid-February 2025. A few cryptic messages, some deleted posts, and whispers on Telegram. Samuel and Ruben Onuha, arrested in Dubai?
We've got an update for the Baller Busters community. You may remember when we broke the story about the arrest of the infamous Instagram influencers, the Onuha brothers, in Dubai. Well, there's new information in their case.
At first, nobody really knew what to believe. The Onuha brothers had always been mysterious, flashy but private. You'd see them in designer fits, sipping champagne on yachts, but never really talking about what was actually going on behind the scenes. But then came the reports. Over the weekend of February 9th and 10th, during what was supposed to be an exclusive invite-only party at their high-rise apartment in Dubai, local police reportedly raided the scene. Not a quiet knock on the door kind of visit. We're talking full-on police action. The reason? Suspicion of drug use and drug possession. And according to sources who claim to have inside info, they found exactly what they were looking for: substances, party guests, chaos. And right there, on the spot, Samuel and Ruben were arrested.
These brothers who have flexed their lavish lifestyle were just arrested in Dubai at their home.
Later in this video, we'll dive into how Ali B, yes, the Dutch rapper and media personality, might have played a role in getting at least one of them out. We'll also talk about what this means for their future, legally, socially, and personally. But first, let's talk about what happened after the arrest. Because for weeks, maybe months, it was like they vanished. No Instagram stories, no posts, not even tagged in anyone else's content. The Onuha brothers went completely off the grid. And in a city like Dubai, where reputation is everything, that silence said more than any official statement ever could. Then, out of nowhere, the gossip page Reality FBI dropped an update. Now, whether you love them or hate them, Reality FBI has a track record of being early, and often right, when it comes to influencer news. According to their sources, Ruben, the younger of the two brothers, had just been released. No press conference, no statement, just quietly out. But here's the thing, the conditions of his release were super unclear. Some insiders say both brothers might actually be under house arrest right now. Not in prison, but not free to leave the country either. No official confirmation from Dubai's authorities. No legal documents made public, just rumors, speculation, and silence. As for Samuel, he's reportedly still in custody, but expected to be released soon if the right people get involved. And that brings us to the wild card in this whole story. Ali B. Now, let's be honest. When most people hear the name Ali B in 2025, they don't immediately think of international fixer or influential insider in Dubai's elite circles. But this story might change that. According to Reality FBI, Ali B was in Dubai around the exact same time as the arrest, specifically at the Al Naseem Resort, one of the most high-end, members-only luxury spots in the city. Multiple witnesses say he was there, and that he was openly talking about the Onuha situation. Allegedly, he told people he connected the brothers with a woman of status, someone who holds serious influence in the UAE's upper class. Apparently, this woman had access to the kind of people who could pick up a phone, make a few calls, and change the course of someone's legal situation. Now we're not saying Ali B definitely orchestrated Ruben's release, but the timeline is interesting. The people involved are interesting, and if this connection really happened, it shows just how powerful personal networks can be in places like Dubai. So, who exactly are the Onuha brothers? Samuel and Ruben aren't just random rich kids on Instagram. They're the faces behind Icon, a brand that mixes luxury fashion, exclusive events, crypto culture, and high-level entrepreneurship. Think private shopping experiences, designer collaborations, crypto panels, and of course, lifestyle content that screams success. They built their brand in a way that made people want to be part of their world. And for a while, it really looked like they had cracked the code. Take European business hustle, drop it in the Dubai playground, and monetize everything. And now, the question is, what happens next? So far, we still have no official confirmation of charges. No trial dates, no exoneration, and no explanation. Just rumors, unverified reports of house arrest, and the very real possibility that both brothers are still stuck in Dubai.
Ruben Onuha, the younger brother, was quietly released from custody this week. Samuel, the older brother, remains detained but is expected out within 1 to 2 weeks under house arrest. Sources at Al Naseem tell us that Ali B, who's well known in Dubai's crypto and real estate circles, introduced the brothers to an unnamed woman of status with alleged influence over their case. Now that meeting appears to have set their release in motion, according to our sources. Now Ali B is a frequent Dubai visitor and business connector in the same networks where the Onuha brothers operate. So we're monitoring this case and any special conditions attached to the brothers' freedom and whether or not further charges will surface.
Even if they're technically not behind bars. There's also talk about an exit ban, which isn't uncommon in Dubai. In fact, people with pending legal issues often aren't jailed, but they also can't leave the country until everything's settled, which means dash. Even if Samuel gets released tomorrow, the story might not end there. And if Ali B really did use his connections to get involved, that raises some big questions about who's really pulling strings in Dubai's crypto and influencer scenes. Because let's be real, this wasn't some small-time arrest. This was Dubai's elite, an international hotspot for power, money, and image. If the Onuha brothers survive this scandal, they might come back even bigger. Rebranded, reimagined, more exclusive than ever. But if they don't, this could be the end of an empire that was just getting started. Either way, we'll be watching. You might have already seen the rumors flying around. Samuel and Ruben Onuha, the duo behind Icon Amsterdam, reportedly got arrested in Dubai.
These brothers who have flexed their lavish lifestyle were just arrested in Dubai at their home.
Before you go all no way, or think it's some PR stunt, hold up. I went deep into the story and what I found, it's insane. For those who don't know, Vince is a well-known name in the e-com space. He's been close to Samuel and Ruben for years. Business events, collabs, behind the scenes, he's seen a lot. And just when everyone thought Vince would stay silent, he dropped this.
Hey guys, I wanted to do this way earlier, but I'm doing a quick update on my perspective on the situation with one of my best friends, Samuel and Ruben. And just first up, don't believe everything you read on the internet. They like to see and they like to get clout on other people's name and try to kick people down when they are up. And this is obviously what we all have seen, and everyone in the right mind understand that what some things they are writing is completely nonsense. And I think it's good to understand that, and also, you know, the time will come to speak up and set everything right. And also I just wanted to highlight how many people they've influenced in the right way, changed more than 10,000 of people's their life, including mine. And I think, you know, it's really sad to see that people take the opportunity to get some clout on someone else's name while he's not able to respond, as if you're fighting with someone who's not able to punch back. And that was something that I really had to get off my chest, because I've been like wanting to tell this for many times already, but I was advised to not speak. But I was like, at this point I just want to share my perspective, because, you know, like, I know that it's unfair of how it's currently in the picture, and a lot of people are watching me, and a lot of people know that they're close to me. So yeah, this is just my perspective on the situation, and, you know, like, God willing, they're out soon and they're able to speak for themselves, because I'm not the one who should be doing that. And yeah, just, you know, like, I wish everyone the best, and you guys should do that too.
This might be the first real glimpse into what's really going on behind the scenes. In the next few minutes, we're going to unpack everything: their crazy rise, the luxury, and now the massive plot twist no one saw coming. Let's rewind real quick. Who are these guys? Samuel Onuha made waves on TikTok while running Icon Amsterdam, a streetwear brand dripping in luxury. Ruben, his brother, was right there with him. They claim it all started from dropshipping back in 2018.
I started it in 2018. Honestly, it started as just a simple dropshipping store. I didn't have no plans to make it something long term. I was just desperate for a change to make money.
And now, a multi-million euro empire. Or so they say. Their socials showed us offices with skyline views, luxury whips, crazy parties. But anyone who knows the grind behind fashion brands knows inventory, ads, team salaries, and it's expensive.
So we now do around 3 million every month. The numbers don't lie, guys.
So the big question is, did they really scale from 0 to millions just off e-com? Or was there another money stream fueling the lifestyle? That's where it gets interesting. Let's talk about the arrest. On February 10th, 2025, reports dropped that both brothers were picked up by Dubai police at a private villa on the Palm. Sources say it wasn't random. According to Baller Busters, you know, the Instagram account calling out fake flexers, the Onuha brothers threw a massive party, invited big names, and even hired escorts. Problem? The escorts didn't get paid. They were pissed and apparently tipped off the cops. When police arrived, they reportedly found 260 grams of some pink powder, possibly a mix of MDMA, ketamine, and coke. That's not even all. Others connected to them were also arrested: their chef, and even a woman who was supposedly booking flights for the girls. It's like the deeper you look, the messier it gets. Then came a brand new twist. A close friend of the brothers just came forward. In a voice note that's been leaked on socials, he said, and I quote, "I talked to Samuel days before the arrest. He told me something was coming, something big. He said, if anything happens, remember, it's deeper than it looks." That statement is shaking everything up. It suggests they might have known they were being watched or even set up. The question is, was this a warning or a cover? Either way, it adds a whole new layer to this already insane story. Now, let's check their digital trail. Samuel's IG, gone. Just gone. Ruben's last story was posted February 8th. The chef's final Instagram post, February 10th, the day of the bust. If this was a stunt, wouldn't they have posted something? Right now, it's all quiet. No responses, no PR spin. Just silence. Let's get into the money side. Here's where it gets real. If you run a legit fashion brand, you know how the money works. Reinvest in stock, pay your team, run your ads. But these two were flexing like crypto whales. According to Baller Busters and other sources, most of their cash didn't come from clothing, but from selling high-ticket courses and mentorships. Like $110,000 for 3 months of e-com coaching. Yeah, you heard that right. The truth? A lot of that info is free online. So were they genuinely teaching or just cashing in on hype and hopefuls? Also, word is they've got tax issues with the Dutch government. So the financial side of their empire might be shakier than it looks. Now what? They're facing serious charges: possession, trafficking, distribution. This isn't light stuff. If convicted, they could be locked up for years. Some of their crew already bounced out of Dubai. Others, still in custody. So where does this all go? That's the big question. Is this the end of the Onuha story? Or just another chapter? What can you take away from this? If you're hustling, building a brand, or just watching from the sidelines, let this be a lesson. Don't believe everything you see online. Flashy doesn't always mean legit, and you don't need to drop $100,000 on some course to succeed. Drop your thoughts in the comments.
We're gonna start with the SVR Gangster S car. If you drive this one and you have like a little color like me, you definitely look like a drug dealer, and that's why I like it.
Do you think they're guilty? Or is this one giant setup? Subscribe for updates. The story's not over. Stay sharp, stay curious. Peace.
First of all, success leads to comfort. Comfort leads to failure. I was drifting. If you have read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, he explains that most people are drifters, right? They're just like a feather in the wind, being blown from left to right. That was me, but I was on a high, right? Well, I didn't focus on my business no more. I just opened my laptop for 1 or 2 hours a day. Oh, I did 10,000 in revenue a day. How much profit is that? Oh, about 25%. Okay, 2,500 bucks. Let's hit the beach club. Let's hit the restaurant. Let's hit the club. I was just living life, fast life, matter of fact. So, all this comfort, me not focusing on what I should have focused on, right? The growth of my business, my companies, and so forth, led to a downfall.